If you hear a clicking noise, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out my camera settings. I have like a new setup. I'm trying to sort it out. So maybe some of y'all have watched my hair color Q&A video. If you have, then you already know how this is gonna go down. But if you haven't, hey, hello, welcome. I'm gonna be chatting about some of my most frequently asked questions about my hair. How do I maintain it? How do I style it? How do I moisturize it? What are my favorite products? All the above. So if you're interested in that, definitely keep on watching this video. If you have a question that I didn't get to, feel free to leave them down below in the comments and I will do my very best to get back to you in a timely fashion. But keep in mind that your sis is trying to get her PhD, so it might take a little bit before I hit that respond button, but eventually I will get back to you. All right, let's go and get started. So first kind of group of questions I'm going to talk about are questions about growth. Like any tips for growing out your hair. If you want your hair to grow, there's really one thing that you need to do, which is to stop your hair from breaking. Everyone's hair grows in general about the same amount. What we all struggle with is keeping that growth and keeping that length. So if you want to grow your hair, you're gonna have to reduce breakage. Let me try to break it down into like 5 things you can do to reduce breakage. 1, trim your ends regularly. Your ends are the oldest parts of your hair. They're the fastest to get worn down and weathered down, so you have to trim them regularly if you want to reduce breakage. 2, use the right products that will keep your hair moisturized. It's gonna be different for everyone. Some people's hair responds to shea butter, and some people's hair responds better to coconut oil or something else. So you're gonna have to take some trial and error to figure out what products really help you to lock in the moisture in your hair. Number 3 is how much you manipulate your hair. If you are doing a wash and go every single day and your hair is my texture, your hair is probably not going to grow super long because you are manipulating it constantly. On the flip side, if you get braids all the time, you know you have a friend who lives her life in braids, but her hair like is no longer than right here. Why is that? Because braids are high tension styles. There's a lot of weight on our hair. Your hair can be reacting to the synthetic hair that's being used. So I would say that some protective styles are in fact protective and could be lending to breakage. Those 3 things combined, the health of your ends, your moisturizing regimen, and how much you manipulate your hair really play a part into whether you experience breakage and ultimately how much length and how much growth you're gonna be able to see over the course of time. I will personally say that growth is not important to me. Breakage is important to me, but growth isn't important to me. So I cut my hair a lot, usually get it cut like once a year, like a tapered cut. The back of my hair breaks less than the front of my hair. So this part gets really long and then the front will just be like this. So if you're trying to learn about hair growth from me, I'm not the best for you, which is cool. Another question that I surprisingly get a lot, since I am someone who does super low maintenance styles, like my hair is usually either like this or it's in an afro. People always ask me like, oh, are you retwisting your hair at night? Nah, sis. So I got this hair done on Thursday. I kept the twists in all day Friday and then took them out this morning. And I promise you for the next week, this is exactly what I'm going to do every single night. And I go to sleep. I'm not retwisting. I'm likely not remoisturizing. I am just sleeping with this huge bonnet. So this is how I protect my hair at night. This is what I do. I'm lazy. I do not redo my hair in the middle of the week, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to have fairly healthy hair is because I do the least to it. I'm not retwisting all the time. I'm not doing too much. So that's how I protect my hair at night, with this little bonnet. I'll link to it in the description box. Okay, someone asked, how do you usually shape your fro? I like my hair to be short in the back and a little bit more voluminous in the front. And there are 2 ways to encourage that. One is to get a tapered cut, but also depending on your hair texture, like my hair in the back is a lot tighter than my hair up here, probably because I've colored my hair up here a lot more than I've colored the hair back here. And if you want to know more about that, definitely go watch the hair color Q&A video. The front and the back of my hair are different textures. So if I apply the same amount of water on all sides of my hair, the back is going to shrink up more than the front. As my hair becomes more and more of a fro, I'm able to have a shape where the bottom is shorter and the top is a bit more voluminous. Also, when I am rocking the fro, what I will do every couple of days is spray some water in it or like a leave-in conditioner in it, and I will only fluff up the top and not fluff up the back. So the back will continue to get more and more compact, and I'll just kind of like zhuzh up the front to get a little bit more volume. So that's how I kind of create the shape of my fro. Someone asked me what's my hair type. I'm going to refer you to this video that I made like 4 years ago talking about hair typing and how I don't really care for it. What do you use for the roots and the hairline to keep them strong? I don't have issue with my roots. My hairline can use some work probably. I went through a period where I was slicking my hair back in a puff and using edge control a bit too much, maybe like 2 years ago, so I think that did a number on my edges. But some people say castor oil. I honestly haven't done a serious castor oil experiment, so I can't tell you whether or not it works, sorry. A lot of questions about breakage or moisture or dryness kind of came up. How do you keep it from breaking during the winter? My hair is very dry. I don't know what to do. When I talk to a lot of different people about what they're doing to their hair and what their regimen is, one thing that people are never, ever, ever doing enough is trimming their hair. So if you are trimming your hair every 6 to 8 weeks, that's every other month, then you're doing a good job. And if you don't remember when your last trim was, then that's a problem. And I feel like a lot of times we get caught up in, I want my hair to grow, so I'm not gonna cut it. That's actually probably contributing to why your hair is breaking and also why your hair is dry. If your ends are dead and they're split and they just have no more life to them, it doesn't matter how much product you pile on them, they're not going to be able to absorb that moisture, so you just gotta get rid of them. At the end of the day, oh, this is such a good analogy. So the end of this leaf is now just like dry and brittle, and there's nothing that I can do to make this part of this leaf green again. Literally 0 things I can do. The whole plant is kind of gotta go, but there's nothing that I can do to make this green again. I can continue to water the plant, I can continue to mist my plant, I can continue to try to keep this part green, but this part is just dead. So you gotta let it go. If you want to have everything moisturized, you have to let the ends go. They're the first part to experience damage. They're the first part to experience breakage. So you gotta just trim them. Trim, 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 trim. Also, a couple of questions came up about my regimen. Like, what is my typical regimen and how do I typically style my hair? So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I usually wear my hair either kind of like this, like semi-twisted out, but also, you know, picked out so that it's not super tight curls. I prefer volume over definitions. Another way that I wear my hair a lot is in a fro. So what I'll often do is do chunky twists or braids, and then like my hair shrinks up and shrinks up and shrinks up and then gets into a certain shape. Every once in a while I blow out my hair, so that's how I was wearing it a couple of weeks ago. I blew it out and then put some twists into it. Or I'll do protective styles. I wear wigs pretty often. Love being able to give my hair a rest. So those are kind of the 4 different ways that I wear my hair, and my regimen is usually the same regardless of how I wear my hair. So I don't even know why I told you all the different ways that I wear my hair. But I usually wash my hair every 3 weeks. It's really supposed to be every 2 weeks, like in my mind, but I just be really lazy. So I always push it like an extra 3rd week. I use shampoo almost every time I wash my hair because I do work out a good amount. Although I don't use a lot of products, I do think it's important to clean your hair, and I would never throw a shirt in the dryer without throwing it in the washer. So I don't understand people who like only co-wash and never use shampoo, but neither here nor there. So I'll shampoo my hair, and I will also almost always do a deep condition. I'll sit with it under heat. I have a soft bonnet dryer, or I also have those like hot head caps where you can microwave it and it becomes a deep conditioning cap. And then I will moisturize my hair and like put it into chunky twists. Usually that's how my wash day goes. Those chunky twists will either become a fro, or they'll become smaller twists, or they will become cornrows that will go underneath the wig. And that's like usually how I style my hair. From the day that I moisturize my hair, I most likely do not moisturize it again until the following week. Not to say that the moisture lasts for all that 7 days. It probably lasts like 4.5, but I would rather stretch it out so that I'm not manipulating my hair often. For example, and I'll show you the evolution of this blowout. So I washed my hair, I blew it out, I wore it out for, you know, several days, and then once it kind of started to feel super dry and also shrunk, I then did Bantu knots. And when I did the Bantu knots, I re-moisturized my hair and then wore those for like another week. So that's how I usually get through my 2-week cycle. In terms of what products I used, I think I did a pan view of my products in the other video, but I have 2 shelves of products. I'm not beholden to any specific product line. I have the privilege of being on a couple of companies' PR lists, so I often get sent new products. There aren't that many things that my hair doesn't like, and I usually immediately know, like as soon as I put it on, whether or not it's gonna be good for me. So if you are looking for some product recommendations, a lot of brands now have come out with lines specifically geared towards women with kinkier hair texture. So I would start with those. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, like you probably have kinky hair like mine. So for example, the main choice is Do It For The Culture. That one, their Accomplished Leave-In is really good. That's the most recent leave-in that I've been using. Jane Carter has a collection. It's called Curls To Go. That one's for tighter textures. Isle Organics, their Pomegranate and Honey collection. That's also really good. Shea Moisture's Red Palm Oil and Cocoa Butter line. Diva Curls products, those are some high quality top-notch products, especially their like shampoos and conditioners. Those are really, really good. Carol's Daughter also has the COCO CREME line. I also really like that line. That's pretty hydrating as well. So yeah, so those are a couple of recommendations for where you can start. Again, I don't use just one product. Oftentimes I'll use different products from different lines. Sometimes I'm just trying to finish stuff. Like I have this one Aunt Jackie's product that I'm just really trying to finish. So anytime I go to re-moisturize my hair, I often will pick that up because I like want to make space, and so I'm trying to get rid of the bottle. Do you ever have any dandruff problems? So I've never really suffered from dandruff. I think that either dandruff or itchy scalp can be caused by one or two things. Either one, you have some product issues, so either you're using too much product or the combination of product that you're using, or you're layering too much product on top of each other and not ever fully cleansing your scalp, and that product just builds up and irritates your scalp. Or you might have like a issue that requires professional intervention. So if you don't know where you land on that spectrum, what I would do is start off by using a clarifying shampoo. That should get all the gunk out of your hair. And then if you still after that are experiencing dryness on your scalp, then try oiling your scalp with tea tree oil. If you're still experiencing dryness, then I think it's time to go see a professional. When you are re-moisturizing your hair, think about using water to reactivate the product that already exists in your hair, as opposed to putting more product on top of your hair. I do that all the time. I'll just spray a little bit of water and retwist up my hair as opposed to layering new product on it. And then don't listen to these people who say just co-wash, don't ever shampoo your hair. That's a lie. Like, wash your hair, people, wash your hair. Okay, so there's a question about trimming. How important would you say a professional trim is versus a self-trim? And I think that you should go to a professional stylist at least once a year, if not twice a year. Get yourself a good trim, get yourself a shape, get an assessment of your hair. A couple days ago, I got my hair done at a salon and my stylist let me know that I was experiencing some breakage in this area. I would have never known that. And now I know to be a little bit more careful and sensitive when I'm styling like this section of my hair. I do think that you can trim on your own, like in between salon visits, and I do have a video about 3 ways that you can trim your hair at home by yourself. I usually trim like every other wash or every 3 washes. But then sometimes like I'm randomly just twisting my hair and the ends look a little scraggly and I hit it with the scissors. But I am not one of those like naturals who doesn't believe in ever going to the salon. It might take you some time to find a salon that you like and that you feel like they have really qualified stylists. If you ever need salon recommendations in the New York, New Jersey area, definitely hit me up. I have a couple that I really like and I trust, but you should definitely be trimming your hair professionally, like at least once a year, ideally twice a year. How do you handle shrinkage? I don't handle it. I just accept it. I really just accept it and let my hair be. How do you keep it stretched? I don't keep it stretched. I just let it do what it does. Would you ever go bald? I don't know. Never say never, but I don't know. How do you prevent single strand knots? Manipulate your hair less. Do less to your hair and it will knot less. If you think about headphones, if you just leave headphones like laying out, they won't get tangled. But the second that you've thrown your headphones in your handbag, that's when they get tangled. So if you leave your hair alone, it will not up as much. What's next for your hair journey? This is a good closing question because one, I kind of answered this in my 8 years natural hair video, but I'm not really on a hair journey anymore. I just kind of like do my hair the same way that I wash my face. Actually, I am on a skincare journey, so it's actually quite not the same. It's kind of really like second nature to me now, so I don't know, I'm not really on a hair journey, and I just take care of it and do what I can to keep it still on my head and to keep it cute in the way that I like it. So whew, I know that was super, super long. If you have any other questions about my hair that are not color related, leave them down here in the comments. Thank you so much for supporting. And I know that some of you guys are super new and you haven't watched all my super long old videos, but if you're ever bored or if you want to go down the rabbit hole, I have tons of videos about hair care, hair styling. I'm pretty sure between these two videos, I think I've been now sitting here in this exact spot for like an hour and a half. So I am gonna go spend some quality time with my husband. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.